Welcome to Dynamic Thriving Audio Blog, where we're very spiritual with a good dose of practicality in support of your life transformation. This is your host, Marianne Pack, spiritual guide and oracle for the many. Today's audio blog is entitled, Does It Feel Like Your Life is Buffering? Does it feel like your life is buffering? Holding patterns can suck your time and energy. They can really do a job on your motivation and confidence. You know the feeling. When you're clipping along pretty well and all of a sudden life stops and starts spinning in place. As you look at the events of your life, you can see the circle spinning round and round in the center of the screen of your life. It never feels good to experience life just spinning in place and going nowhere. Your energy is low. You've lost your joy. It feels sticky. Have you ever considered what might be causing your life to buffer? Were there signs that you missed along the way? When life seems to be buffering, it certainly doesn't feel good. You almost feel numb. It's like there's almost no emotion, just numbness. No real highs or lows of emotions, no passion, yet no real discouragement either, just blah. For a couple of weeks around the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in late 2020, I felt the low energy. I don't usually feel the low or even the chaotic energy of the moon, planets, or stars. But this time, I just felt sapped of energy and even emotion. Just blah. Like the little arrow was making a circle on the computer screen of my life. It's like I couldn't make myself get much of anything done in my business or even around the house. I don't normally require a lot of sleep. I feel good with about 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night and usually don't ever need a nap. So it was so weird that I felt like I needed a nap almost every day for those 2 weeks. The Great Conjunction represented a time for us to release old habits or thought patterns in order to make way for doing things differently or thinking differently. When we aren't open to change, this kind of energy can really feel uncomfortable. If you've followed me for very long, you know that I teach that we are here in this life to experience as much joy as possible. That's our purpose. We accomplish this by tapping into our inner source. This alignment keeps our energy stable. There is no singular job to accomplish or work to perform that is our purpose, as if we have a destiny to perform some duty. There is no great lesson we're supposed to learn, as if that's our purpose. What if we miss our purpose? Have we wasted our lives? No. Our soul purpose and our soul's purpose is to feel as much joy as possible. In that way, joy leads us to everything we desire, which may sometimes include doing things in the world that we are passionate about. But it's more about finding joy first and then allowing life force to flow through us and guide our path to things that create more joy within us. So knowing this, what is happening when we feel that life is buffering? When there's no joy? For me, I realized I had been so wrapped up in doing the work on a new project, I wasn't taking time to notice how I was feeling. I hadn't noticed that I was getting tired. I had ignored my body telling me it had had enough and needed a break, just if to get up and get a drink of water or stretch. I wasn't paying attention that my joy had slipped into the background. Because I wasn't listening to my inner being giving me strong indications that I needed to step back for a break, my power cord got dislodged. My connection wasn't strong and stable, so the buffering sign showed up on my computer screen of life. That buffering indication was there as my energy sputtered. I ignored it until the power fizzled out at the Great Conjunction. With the low energy of the Great Conjunction, it compounded my already low energy levels. So, poof, down I went. What do we do to climb out of a low energy and to stop the buffering? First, we must remember the true power source of our energy. Second, how do we tap into that power source of energy? Anytime we are not completely plugged in to our power source, our inner source, we aren't going to accomplish much. Our power cord needs to be plugged in securely into source energy. It's like a toaster. You can take the toaster out of the cabinet and put your slices of bread in it, push the start button, and you will be waiting forever for your toast. If the toaster is not plugged into the power source, you keep waiting and waiting. You'll be buffering, waiting for the toaster to do its job. You're going through all the right motions of making toast, but you've not plugged into the power. So you're getting nothing accomplished fast. It's just like buffering on your computer or streaming TV. When the internet power source is not strong or is even intermittent, the screen indicates that the movie is buffering. The power source and the computer must be in a stable connection before the signal will resume to full strength. In the same way that the toaster has to be plugged into its power source, you, the physical mind body, must be plugged into your power source, the non-physical inner being or spirit. If you don't have a strong connection with your inner source, you will feel that drop in energy, power, and leverage. It's the same with our computer's internet connection. It must be stable to play the movie at full speed. So we need to have our power plugged in and stable to maintain our energy. Let's discuss the 2 points above. We must remember the true source, the true power source of our energy. Our inner being and our inner source is our true energy. That infinite, eternal, broader perspective, spiritual part of us. That's the non-physical side of who we are. Our inner being is who we are, and the intuitive messages of inspiration and passion we receive are their communications with us. This power source is what keeps our energy at optimal levels. This is the power that we can leverage to do everything we desire to accomplish. If we are not securely tapped into that power of our inner source, our energy diminishes quickly. How to tap into the power source of energy. We tap into our power source of energy by developing a relationship with our inner being. Our body-mind, the physical us, must develop a relationship with our spirit, our non-physical us. That relationship is the blending into the wholeness of who we really are, spirit, mind, body. When you think about developing a relationship with someone, you seek out a quiet place to talk. You don't go to the noisiest place to get to know someone. You find a quiet, secluded place where there are few distractions. So if either of you lowers your voice to a whisper, the other one will hear and understand. It's the same with developing a relationship with your inner being. Find a quiet space to just be. Meditate daily to come into a quiet mind and body, to be ready to receive the message from your intuition. To be sure, it will be like a whisper, so you must be still to hear it clearly. Spend some time in nature. Hugging trees may sound weird, but there is science behind forest bathing. Trees emit energy that is conducive to our spirit, mind, body's well-being. The chemicals that trees produce are a quiet, calming effect on our body, our mentality, our emotions. Again, this puts us in the receiving mode of hearing from our inner being, our personal power source. When you have spent enough time in stillness, your energy will raise naturally. When your body and mind is still, you are allowing any resistance to fall away. Because of the lack of resistance, your life force is allowed to flow through you, and that feels really good. You feel an overall sense of well-being. This non-resistant state creates space for more and more energy to flow through you. Your mind will have clarity, and with clarity, your thoughts will be more beneficial. Your emotions will feel better because of your choice of thoughts. When we provide ourselves with quiet spaces and take time to plug back into our power source within, we will see the screen of our lives stop buffering and the signal will be strong and stable. If this post has resonated with you, please like and comment and subscribe to this podcast. This really helps my work to expand and touch more lives with joy. Thanks in advance. To your joyous power source connection, this is Mary Ann Pack, your spiritual guide. And P.S. Do you need help finding your connection to your own power source? Let's chat. I'll be happy to offer you a Discover My Joy and Well-Being session with me because you are on your quest for more from life. Let's find out what it will take for you to stay securely plugged in to your power source. Simply go to my website, maryannpack.com, and scroll down on the first page and you'll find a Discover My Joy and Well-Being session. And remember, you are joy, looking for a way to express.